In your packets, the very last thing that was passed out is the contract for Vector, and I have not received back from them their part of the signed contract, but Terry said that the council could go ahead and approve it tonight.
Sure.
So, if someone would please make a motion.
So moved.
Motion. Second. Have a motion over here.
Surely
You are.
Discussion.
There's just a whole lot of people looking forward to this package.
Yes,
But
they
it
are.
wasn't on our May utility bill, it was here, I thought it was gonna be on our May,
Well,
I didn't get it on this.
board member, you're.
They're working out the issues.
Y'all just have to work on credit for a little while.
I think the simple task of adding $2 on your bill didn't turn out quite that simple, so they're working through the problems and trying to make sure they do it fair.
So will it be like $4 and it's, I mean, are they, will they catch
I
up?
don't know, they didn't say anything about that.
Will we talk about that or?
Well, actually, your May bill hasn't come out. You have arrears. Bill you just got for April, so when you get it, the end will be for May.
That was gonna be on the bill, what we got in May, I guess is what I should have said.
Well, May bill is actually accumulating right now.
You pay after you use it.
Yes.
Right, but I'm saying, we were saying it was gonna be on the bill we got in May, and it wasn't, so if it'll be in June, that's fine, or whenever, I just
go ahead and give us $2.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna go around and collect for everybody.
So any other questions or discussions? On that? I'll make sure you understand one point here. What you're looking at there is for an 8-month period. That does not change the annual cost. These people do most of their work in the hot part of the year anyway. If you do a renewal, it'll be spread out over 12 months, but this year will only be spread out over 8.
Yeah, and actually, this is a 2-year contract, so it does, well, it can be we can renew it for a year at the same amount. That's what, we have the option
Yeah.
to renew for a full year at the same amount as in January 1. So next year, if we renew, which I imagine we probably will, the monthly payment's going to be as much.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
Mayor. Mr. Mayor, I wonder if someone from the company could come back and explain to the councilmen and citizens through the media what is going to take place. I'm getting most of the conversations I have with people is, what are you all going to do? How are you all going to do this? And, you know, I think they were here, but, you know, I think it might be a good thing to explain to the people again how this is going to take place.
I think that's an excellent point. But personally, I've been making some assumptions that they do ground spraying, they do aerial spraying. And to me, it's pretty obvious the ground is probably cheaper on their part, so I've been assuming they'll probably use aerial oil if they get in a bind or.
That's what the contract, actually the contract says they'll all use their own.
But he said he would come and do a public meeting, that Mr. Nelson said he would do a public meeting because we were hoping to tie it in with some other things, so rather than even having him come to the council, we might just have a
Whatever, but
public meeting.
I just think there needs to be some public, I would appreciate not having as many conversations trying to explain something that I don't know.
Yeah, I was
They're
gonna
calling the office too.
I think a key point the public needs to understand, this is an eradication program. It is not going to kill all the mosquitoes. The guy said that right up front. They will work on them, they'll eradicate, the wind can blow and they'll blow right back into town. So I think we need to understand that. It's not going to get rid of all the mosquitoes. When you start getting phone calls that you know, you sprayed and I've still got mosquitoes, and it'd be nice if they understood,
But there won't be as bad, right?
hopefully. Old business, I believe Mr. Malott, you want to talk about your mowing project?
Yes, we had a committee meeting.
No, we're okay. Any business, yeah.
Go ahead.
No.
Oh, okay. I thought-
Telling me?
I think he said that we were a tag team like the street department did.
Copycats, copycats.
Anyway, we took bids, we advertised, and we had certain specs. One of them was, had to have a rollover protection device. And we sought 3 local bids, we got 2 back and a letter of no bid. And Heartland Auto Outdoors, they bid $12,600 for 2 54-inch bad boy commercial mowers. Legacy John Deere Equipment bid $15,750 for 2 of them. And Farm Hand Supply submitted a letter of no bid this time. Our recommendation is for the Heartland Auto Outdoors for 2 commercial bad boy 54-inch lawnmowers for $12,600.
So I'll go ahead and make a motion that we accept that bid.
No, second.
Motion is second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, second part is hiring. We advertised, we had 5 applicants. We called all 5. One was currently working somewhere, and we told everyone that this was not a year-round 29-hour-a-week project. It would end in October, September, October. And I think the one individual was looking for something more permanent, and he declined the interview. And another one, he was wanting to work, he works a regular job, wanting to work, I guess, at his leisure. So we interviewed 3 people. One is, you've got your letter there, one is Jerry Wills. He's retired from the fire department, still active, want to work part-time. He basically would be what we would call the lead person, where we give the job tickets to, where to mow, what to mow, and oversee the other 2 people while they're out there. The other one is Efrain Martinez. He lives at 804 St. Francis. He has a Missouri driver's license, and he does have a work authorization, Social Security, and his employment authorization card. He does come recommended. He used to have a Mexican restaurant right down here where Papa Doc's Pizza used to be. He owns that building, he's bought it. So he's working his way towards citizenship, as I understand it. The other individual is Megan Schoolcraft. This young lady has worked on a mowing crew for a number of years, and when we interviewed her, the mowers that we recommended, she actually had used one of those, so she was looking at, we told her 29 hours a week, part-time, and that was satisfactory to her, so she has some experience coming into the program, so that's the 3 people that we recommend hiring at $10 an hour. The proposal is they will have to pass a drug screen, and they'll have to go through, we're putting together an orientation, because we are using powered equipment, and with some of the people not having used the zero-turn mowers, we'll be doing some training. We'll set cones up, have them learn it, and there are some safety things that we need to make sure that they're aware of before we just stick them out here and mow it. So it'll be kind of a week or so orientation on that.
I'm sorry, but what was Mr. Martinez's first name?
It's Efrain, Efrain.
Thank you.
We need a motion for that, I'll make it.
Yes.
Second.
A motion and a second, any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Yes, sir.
Opposed?
Yeah.
Approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. That conducts all the old business, unless somebody's got something that we didn't get on the agenda. Moving to new business, first off, the council needs to elect mayor pro tem. Everybody speak at once.
Well, could I just say that I would like to recommend Kenny Wilson, or what, how did we do that?
Just nominate.
Nominate.
Make a motion. No nomination, any further nominations?
I move nomination three.
Motion C.
Second.
Without any comment, have a second.
Makes the
All in favor of Kenny Wilson, as mayor pro tem?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Congratulations.
In your packet there, you have a list of committee appointments for the upcoming year. And the First and Finance Committee will approve at the last meeting. We'll submit these recommendations to the council.
Motion.
Motion there.
Second.
Second. Okay, any discussion?
Mayor, could we add a stormwater committee? I mean, I don't know if we could do it tonight, but I just think it's real important that we at least have that committee. I mean, we're talking about what we can do to, you know, try to keep,
We could have had one.
but it was never really officially done. It was pretty haphazard. I mean, but I'm assuming that, even though Mr. Chambers is already on a couple, would you still side on the stormwater?
That's whatever, yeah.
I mean, and, well, you were, yeah, you were on it too.
Fire.
So, I mean, I guess everybody would continue to be on it if that was okay, but I just think it's important for the people to see that we at least have the committee, we're at least trying to make some effort. I mean, it's up to the rest of the council, but if we don't at least make an effort and don't even have a committee to show that we're trying to do something, I think we really send the wrong message.
You make an excellent point, is there a motion?
We already have a motion, there's a motion on the floor to approve the committee appointment.
We're adding the committee.
Okay.
This will be the other street.
So we need a motion to add that?
Retract my
well,
motion
first
for a
we need
minute.
to-
So she can have
Yeah.
that.
You understand that? Okay, we've got a motion to add the stormwater committee to our list here.
Second.
Have a second.
You'll accept that addition,
Yes.
amendment to the original motion.
Exactly what he said.
All in favor? All in favor of this motion, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. We now add to your list stormwater committee. We would accept volunteers.
Well, I said, if it's okay, we'll just keep the same people that were on there, and we might add some more later, but if that's okay. I mean, if anybody else wants to be on it, everybody can be on it. Jump
Okay.
up.
We've added Ms. Oglaw, Nolan, and Mr. Wilson as committee.
Yeah, for now, if that's okay.
Who will be the chair?
Ms. Sokoloff,
Mr. Shaver.
he'll be out there.
Satisfactory to
That
you?
is fine. That is fine for now.
Now, Mr. Weatherwax, we'll get back to your motion. Do you want to amend it?
Yes, I accept the amendment and make a motion and move forward
Okay.
with that.
Now, any further discussion of committees? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Roger, would you like to talk about budgeting?
Yeah, but
Near and dear to our heart.
And I apologize to Mr. Fowler and Mr. Canosa there, but this morning and well, yesterday afternoon, I met with Ms. Riser, and we talked about some of the things we needed to have in everybody's hands so we can start the budget plan, and so I wrote out some notes there. One thing I had talked about with the mayor is that we have approximately $56,000 worth of vacation, accrued vacations that they need to go. And so in the budget plan this year, I'd like us to figure out, you know, how we can get in each of those departments, get those paid up, and then from this day forward then, or after that, use it or lose it, that thing, rather than accrue, you know, weeks and weeks of vacation down the road. Now, some of these vacations very possibly were earned in 2002, but we're gonna pay them in 2014 wages, you know, so. And anyway, just, there's really no accommodation in the handbook for carrying over, except in extreme emergency. And I see it's a responsibility of the department heads to make sure their vacation gets scheduled and used, and not create this financial hardship on us. And if we have an opportunity to do it, but you're just gonna have to work it into your budget. I asked them, and they each of you have the whole set of the abstracts of accounts payable from June or July 1 last year through March. And I think when we do our budgets in the past, we've had some sheets that just give a general outline of by department, all right? And that's not good. And I think if you go back and look at your abstract and where you actually spend all your money, that you can come up with a pretty sound budget plan for this next year. Doesn't include a lot of your, what I think doesn't include your insurance, your social security, and whatever like that, which is calculated through the office. But we just need to do a really, really good job of making a budget plan and think about it ahead of time so that, you know, last year we said we want to do this, but a few days after we approved the budget, someone came in and said, well, I've got to have this, I'm sorry, I forgot to put it in the budget plan. You know, that's not a good way to run a business, folks. It's just not. And I'm going to ask the Finance Committee to be very stingy in allocating any funds that were not given good consideration in the budget process. I think it's only fair for us to do it for the people of Kennett, and that is to, you know, do it correctly to begin with. So what I want to do is, over the next 2 weeks, you can dig into this, and we'll have a look at it at the next council meeting. And then following that, I will ask the Finance Committee, and we will meet with each one of you. Not in mass, but police department, street department, fire department, you know, whoever, and just dissect their budget plan and try to put it together the best we can, okay? If you have questions along the way, don't hesitate to call me. If I don't have an answer, I'll get with Ms. Reisner and we'll dig one out. Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. I think that's an excellent start. And this current year has been an improvement over the previous year. Looking forward, I think this next upcoming year can be even better. Pre-planning is super important at this stage of the year. John, I'll bring you back up. What about 9/11?
Yeah, real quick, back up. Chris Hill and Landon Stewart are the two officers that they were out on a call, so they couldn't be here at that time. There are two bicycle patrol officers, and really what I'd like for them to do is come forward real quick and kind of give a brief overview of what you guys have done in the 3 days that you were out on patrol. Stuff like that.
Well, it was on April 10th is when we kind of restarted this thing, because I guess before, we were actually on the police department, it had happened once before, so it's kind of been reenacted. And me and Landon right now are the only officers at the moment that are available to do it. And it's because, you know, the staffing, you can't, you know, take a lot of officers off the streets to be able to do that, you know, for officer safety and whatnot. So, the time that we've been able to do it's been a little more limited, but we have been doing the best we can, and we have went 3 times now, on 3 different occasions. And in those 3 times we've made roughly 50, 60 contacts with people, and we have made 7 warrant arrests, 5 narcotics arrests, and we've received just numerous amounts of contacts and information. And one thing that I really liked about it is that people would stop. They were driving by and they'll stop and they'll say, "When did you guys start that?" We're like, "Well, we just recently started." And they're like, "That is so cool." You know, we get really, really good feedback from the community, which is really nice. And a lot of what they were saying is things like, now, and this is what the people were saying, they said, "We love this so much because that really kind of brings you guys more to us. And it's not just you guys, you know, driving by waiting in the car. This is really personable." And I said, "You're exactly right." And I try to tell them that that's the reason why we're doing this, is because the Kennett Police Department can only help stop crime with the help of the community. And the only way we're going to do that is by getting to know the community. So that's kind of a reason why we're doing this, is kind of, you know, get eye and eye with everybody. But we're super excited about it, and yeah, that's about it. We're just very excited about it.
Guys, we appreciate you very much.
Appreciate
your
it.
time.
Thank you.
Come in. Thank you. All right. No, thanks, guys. Thanks
Yes,
for
sir.
stopping by. So if you see them on the street, honk and wave, stop and talk to them.
Y'all be careful.
Thank you.
Have a proposal, or AT&T, it's actually a proposal. I've been attending some of the Duncan County 911 board meetings because they're after the sheriff has his monthly meeting. And over the months, over the last couple of years, you know, we had a couple of meetings under the previous mayor looking at the possibility of consolidation of dispatch and consolidation of some of the resources and that. And really, under the total dispatch concept, I think it would have further removed the police department away from the public, because we get so many walk-ins after the 5 o'clock hour and through the night and on the weekend. And so we were still interested in the fact that our 911 is the original 911 in like 1990 that was voted and approved. There's not been any hardware upgrades to the 911 system. And the system that we have now, they actually have put parts from other systems that they've upgraded on a shelf, knowing that we have it. And so I think Chief Dennis can attest to this. There's been times when the system has went down that you keep your fingers crossed that the part's available on the shelf. And so with that, an upgrade can be quite expensive. But a little history of the future, in 2017, AT&T, and even in this meeting, the individual said that as of 2017, there'll be no more what they call landline phones. There'll be voice over IP. And so our collection on landline phones will be gone. We will no longer collect the funding off your phone to support 911. And with the need for an upgrade and the future of not having the revenue come into the city of Kennett, there's legislation, and we're hoping to hear this week that it's passed. They've been debating it over the last 4 or 5 years through the state legislature to allow counties to go on as a county-wide group and be able to propose a cell phone, small cell phone fee on your cell phone bill to support your local 911, or they allow them to do a sales tax or whatever. Well, in talking to the board, with that money coming into the county, there wasn't going to be any funding stream to pass on to the city. It would be used for their 911. So the way that Malden's 911 operates, they have a dispatch center, but they're a hub off of Dunklin County. And that's what we're looking at, and that's what we're proposing here, is our lines that come directly into our dispatch would actually go directly into the hub at Dunklin County. And we would be a satellite dispatch center, much like Malden. For that, the board has agreed they're going to pay, in this proposal that you see here where it says Kennett, $56,000 on page 1, that's the cost that the county 911 board will pay along with the others for us to be brought into a total Dunklin County 911 system throughout the whole county. It upgrades our system in this building and it allows for one dispatch station, which we have 2. So we'll have to budget for the second station. He's getting me those costs now. This is kind of a 30-day window that we got, and I asked him that so that I could give you this information tonight. We're meeting Monday morning at 9 a.m. here if you're interested. And I asked the mayor and the DPS chairman, committee chairman, and anyone else that wants to attend at 9 o'clock. A few members of the Dunklin County Board will be here that we can go over this and discuss the pros and cons of it. The pros are that when our funding runs out, we're going to be part of the total Dunklin County 911. When they propose a cell phone or a tax, hopefully we can help promote that in our community, and it will support the board to support the 911 system and all the future upgrades. It's a system that's continually evolving, and it really requires, we should have probably upgraded at least 2, if not 3 times by now. But it was never budgeted. The $56,000 will get us on board and in the county system. If you look at maybe over the next 18 months the most, at $2,000 roughly is what we're pulling in a month, and that's what it cost us to have the 2 lines. You're talking about $36,000. So what I recommend to you all is that once we make the transition to the county and they approve this and contract with AT&T, that after that point we will no longer have any 911 phone lines or billing, is that for the rest of the time we turn the collection that we have off of our current phones over to the county, because all the other members are being billed throughout the county as well. This is going to be one of the latest systems. It's the same system that this proposal here to the county board is the same system that is being put in over at Pemiscot County. So everything is alike. It includes training. If you look back on there, it includes training for our people as well as the county, as well as Malden. The big plus is if they get overloaded here and the phone continues to ring and there's something in the city, they have the ability to pick up and answer the call at the county. So if something happened in this building, we're not dead in the waters on 911. Now it takes, they have to call, they make a phone call and they have to, AT&T has to make a switch, so it's a little time consuming, but this is automatic. So this tonight is a proposal. I ask you to look it over, and I would ask you if you're interested, 9 o'clock Monday morning, we'll meet with some of the county people here in this facility, probably in this room, and we'll further discuss this. And then I would ask that we come back the next council meeting and make a yay or nay, vote on it, and let the county know, because they want to get moving on this while the pricing is stable.
Will the radio operator still be uniformed?
Yes.
Or will they be,
We're maintaining our dispatch center.
so they'll still be two?
The only thing that happens is the calls come through there, anything 888 gets rerouted into our dispatch automatically.